Hi, we're back today with Don.T.Neeley to discuss his new book, The Avalon Witch Chronicles. Welcome to Avalon. We've got questions.
We have many questions, actually, it looks like.
A whole bowl worth.
Many people reached out to us to ask questions, and we've thrown them all in a bowl, and we will be playing a game. We are going to throw a question. We will ask the question. He will answer the question.
Hopefully.
He will answer the
I
question.
will.
And since I have one in my hand, I'm just going to go ahead and get straight to it.
Okay.
And I got a good one for you.
Oh, okay.
Wildest scene. Just flat out crazy.
What? Wildest
Just
scene?
flat out crazy.
A flat out crazy scene from the first book.
Mm-hmm.
I think the craziest one. Oh, look, my book.
It's here.
It's here. It's here.
It's physically present.
It is. It's really good for me.
Would you like to use it as a prop?
I will get it. The wildest scene, I think, in the book, actually, I feel like there's two that I really think are incredibly wild. One happens within the chapter of the Oracle, when just, they're being hunted and they're running through the woods, and they have all this stuff going on, and they're just trying to save a life. That one's pretty wild. And then towards the end of the book, there's a battle in the Darkling Colony, and it is chaos. And I loved it. It was fun to write. So yeah, those two, because I can't pick one out of the two of them.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's fair.
Let's see here. There are half demons in the book. Are they inherently evil?
No, actually they're not. It really depends on, because the way that I view it and the way that it is kind of in the story, though I don't get into too much depth into that, it's more of something for later. It really depends on if they're born with like a human soul, because that can happen with them. It just depends on their parentage and whether or not they have humanity, is whether or not they're inherently evil or good.
How do spells work in your world?
How do spells work? Well, if we'll go, for instance, the game that it's based off of. The spells are, I kind of leave it open for the players to come up with whatever spell they want to do, things that they want to do. Let's say a spell to make the lights go out in a room, or a spell that levitates something to you, things like that. I kind of leave that up to the players, and then they'll typically discuss it with me what they want to do beforehand. Sometimes they don't. They just kind of surprise me with it, and that's fine. And I will tell them whether, yeah, you've done that. And that's fine. The surprises are fun. And I just kind of chaos demon. And we kind of discuss it usually, or you'll pop it up, and I will approve or disapprove of whether or not it should be the level that you're at. And I just keep it open-ended because I think it's more fun that way.
Okay.
Yeah.
Come here.
Ooh, she's thick.
Mm-hmm. Some of them
She's
are.
thick.
She's thick. What influences did you have in your formative years that led you to choosing he cardinal directions and natural elements as the basis for witch magic?
Oh, well, that is a really good one.
That was in the shell.
That was in the shell. Of
That
course
was in
it
the
is.
shell.
It sounds like in the show.
It does sound like in the shell. I think I've always been attracted to the idea of magic and witchcraft and fairies and things like that since a very young age. I'm talking like 5, 6. I was just obsessed with things like the Wizard of Oz and the witches and that, which if people that read the book will notice there's a shout out to the Wizard of Oz in there. I'm not gonna. I won't tell you right now where it's at. Maybe I will later. But there is a shout out to the Wizard of Oz in my book. It happens to be one of the characters. Their name is a shout out to it, and so it was just stuff like that, movies and TV shows, and seeing witches and different things like that. And the whole corner thing is leaning more towards real witchcraft and paganism and stuff like that. They go based off the corners, what element you are. So that's why I chose that for the book.
Okay, this is a multi-parter, so I'm going to break this into into two so that you get to answer one and then you get to answer the next one.
Okay.
What creature class is actually your favorite that you've created in the game?
Oh, my favorite that I've created in the game. That has I've always favored the witches themselves because they're the basis of the game. But it's kind of changed over time where there's others that I've started to lean towards loving them. I wouldn't say forcing them into my favorite, but I love them. I love the Fae since we've made them, which they took a long time to put together because, you know, we had to decide what kind of Fae we wanted to use, how many we were going to use, what powers they were going to have. And so, yeah, I think that's my secondary favorite, but the witches will always be my favorite.
Okay. And the second part of this question.
Okay.
What corner, and it does not have to be the corner that you're affiliated with, is your favorite?
What corner is my favorite? There goes that. I think it's north, actually, is because my natural element in real life would be air, east elemental. And I think north is my favorite from the game and from the book, and a lot of the characters in the first book are north, which just happened to happen that way, you know. I wasn't actually in charge of who picked what corner, but I just really love them and the way that they're very nurturing and loving and, you know, very motherly characters and very, very, very protective of the ones that they love. So I kind of gravitate towards that.
Okay. You got another thick one.
I did.
Just getting all the thick ones.
Would you ever consider live streaming a game if people hit the point where they are interested in that?
Of course I would. I would love to do that. I don't know how we could logistically do it, but I would definitely love to figure that out because I think a lot of people would be interested in watching it and seeing how it's played and seeing how, you know, the different players act their parts out. I would love to do that, of course.
The fact that you have a game that is actually a book now is kind of really interesting.
It is. It's kind of crazy, and it's surreal that I can hold it now. You know, it's insane. And she's a big one. She's not thin at all, because I had a lot to say in this one, and I've got a whole other 3 books in the process of, you know, being made. So who knows how big those will be?
Are the next books going to be that big?
Probably because I didn't set out to write a 600-page novel. that was completely by accident. So yeah, it was just I wrote until I was done with this part of the story, and I wrote to a point where I thought I was done, and I was like, no, I need more, and then I stopped myself because I'd be writing for another 2 years. It'd be an 800-page novel instead. So yeah.
Cool. Alright. This is a thin one. Oh, this is a handwritten one.
Oh.
Okay, this one is worst luck. What is the biggest fumble if it wouldn't ruin anything?
Okay.
If it will, the best botch example in your book currently.
Oh, botch example. Well,
The guy dying in the beginning.
that was quite a fumble. that angers a lot of people. One of the characters doesn't make it very far in the book, and that angers a lot of people. But that wasn't a botch or anything. That was a discussion with the player, and that's what he wanted me to do. So I honored that because we were, you know, good friends, and we're still in good standing as far as I know. But he wanted me to do that. But the biggest fumble, I think, probably goes. I'm trying to think in the first book. Because I'm working on the second one, so my mind's on that one. I think in the first book, the biggest fumble probably goes to, oh my goodness, I'm trying to think. Probably, like, Gwen has a couple fumbles. Ivy's really good at not having them, which was good. Priest had a couple fumbles. I'm just trying to think of an actual moment. But yeah, in the game, we'll go to that instead of the book. In the game, the person who fumbled the most happened to be Nichelle as Ezra. So that shows more again in the second book than the first one. But she fumbled so often because she had just the worst luck with rolling, and there's a few moments where you kind of see that in the first book where she obviously is just kind of there, and then things happen, and then she's like confused, and just things are, you know, not working out for her.
Cursed
So,
dice.
Yeah, she has cursed dice. She really does. She always has.
Michelle's the one who's just like, oh, I'm dead.
Yeah, I'm dead. Pretty much. She's like, I'm dead now, aren't I? And it's like, oh, well, maybe.
I did not get my saving roll.
No. She
How?
yeah.
Like, it took her, 6 games to get that point in
Investigation.
Investigation.
Oh, yeah.
Because she didn't put anything into investigation.
No, she did not.
So he gave her the chance, and
And
it
she
literally
kept-
took her
yeah,
over
she-
6 years.
Yeah, it did. And I'm like, all you have to do is succeed 3 times, and I'll give you the point. And she would get 1, 2, botch.
1, 2, botch.
Every
Over
single
and
time.
over and
Yeah,
over.
every
So,
single time.
like, warning, if you ever play the game, always make sure you have one investigation.
Yeah.
Please.
Please. And remember to put 1 in the cult. Oh, it's needed.
Imagine
Yeah.
being a witch and not knowing anything in a cult.
Yeah. What am I? What's happening? Why is it every time I get angry, things catch on fire?
To be fair, though, my character now has a brother who knows nothing.
Yeah, that's true. He would have nothing in a cult.
He would have nothing in a cult. He knows nothing. He literally just sets things on fire.
Yeah, whenever he gets nervous.
Whoosh.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah,
No, that
that's
is,
exactly how
yeah,
it goes.
that is.
Oh, okay.
You got another
You
big
just
one?
keep getting the big ones.
I have a knack for this.
You do. You do. You keep getting the big girls and the big boys.
Ooh, there's like 3 questions here.
Okay.
You gotta break them up.
Break them up for me.
Oh yeah. Explain that. I'm
Yeah.
gonna follow that shit. Stuff.
It's okay.
It's fine.
Now that the books are out, what is the council?
Oh, the council. That's an easy one. The council is a group of witches that are basically marked when they're born to be able to channel all the magic from their corner, and they go to a different plane of existences where they are that just kind of looks over ours, and they control basically the magic, the pure magic itself, and it filters through them to other witches. Yeah, so they have their rules, and sometimes they kind of don't follow them themselves. Actually, a lot of times they don't follow them themselves because they feel that they're above them. And yeah, you know what I'm talking about. You've read the book.
Yeah.
It happens. And so yeah, that's what the council is. They're supposed to be there to help other witches and to protect them and be in charge of magic. And sometimes they just kind of do what they want to.
Sort of like the witch government.
Yeah, it is the witch government, very much.
How long has it been around? The council. How long?
The council. The original council in my brain, because it's not written in the first book how long they've been there, because that's not a question that anyone's ever asked me before. So that's your question. Way to go. I foresee them as being around since basically the beginning of the first witches, because the way I always saw it was, you know, they're in my game and in my book world. They share a world. It was the one, you know, I can't say words. There were 7 creatures that originally existed, and a witch happened to be one of them, and they were all born, you know, separately, created separately, and a witch happened to be one of them, and it was her 4 original children would have made the original council. Yeah.
Cool.
What is their purpose? Which I think you kind of answered in the first question.
Yeah,
but
I kind of did. They have a purpose. They don't always stick to it. As I said, sometimes they do their own thing and self-serving on occasion. Not all of them, but some of them are very self-serving. Yeah. You're side-eyeing me.
What character was the most fun to write?
Most fun to write. Oh, I love this question.
Balls.
Ivy was one of them. I'm not gonna lie. She's a fun character, but my absolute favorite to write for is Elena, because she is just so unpredictable when it comes to what she's gonna say. I don't even know what I'm gonna have her say half the time. I have to get in that mindset of how April was when she played the character and how she was, and still is. Yeah, very much still is that way. And it's a good thing. She's very young and has a young heart, and I loved writing for her the entire time. There were points where I would write a line for her, and I wouldn't know what I was gonna say until I got to it. And I would just bust up laughing, and I've woken my husband up laughing before, and he's like, "What are you laughing at?" And I'm like, I wrote a line for Elaine. I was like, "Go back to bed. It's fine.
It's okay.
It's okay." Yeah. So yeah, I love writing for Elena more than anyone else in the book.
Okay.
Yeah, Ivy's the second favorite.
Understandable. Ivy's awesome.
Ivy is awesome.
She says, "I'll take credit for that."
Yeah.
No, that was all Obi, right?
Yeah, that was
Oh, was
100% Obi.
Yeah.
Yeah, 100% Obi.
She is a character that I probably would have come up with. She is a Chaos Gremlin.
Yeah, she is very much a Chaos
Yeah.
Gremlin. She was like one of our original Chaos Gremlins.
Mhm.
Yeah.
What is some of the lore of the world?
Lore of the world. That one's a little vague of a question, but I'll try to cover what I can. I've already dipped into it as, you know, I looked at it as there being 7 creatures that were originally born, demons being one of them, angels, witches, humans, fairies, or fae, not specifically fairies, but fae, you know, stuff like that. And the world itself is, I try to root it kind of in reality, but make it fantasy at the same time. So the lore is, all of these creatures were, born at different points, spread out throughout the world. The witches themselves have a lot of things that track back to like actual witch trials and crafts like that, things that happened throughout history. I kind of try and tie that in to the world that's there to make it more realistic. And so, like, if we're talking about the town itself of Avalon, the lore was, it originally wasn't mountainous. It was like a plateau that collapsed because of the original Darkling colony collapsed, and it took the entire original town down with it. And they just rebuilt it, and when they rebuilt it, the first thing that would grow on the land was an apple tree. So they named it Avalon.
That's kind of cool.
Yeah. So that's where it got its name from. And that's a story that I think will actually appear probably in the second or third book when someone recounts it, which will most likely be Ivy because she is the eldest and knows the most about the town. Outside of, Gwen's book is mentioned to know the most. Ivy has just lived long enough, she knows it. So
How old is Ivy?
she is 54 when the book starts. So she's not like ancient by any means, but she is the oldest character.
See, I picture her as like
Much older.
68 or something crazy
Yeah.
like that.
Yeah, much older than she is because she acts old, but at the same time she acts like a very young person compared to what she is sometimes. Very reckless.
You also have to take into consideration the fact that whenever you guys played this, you guys were in your 20s.
It's true. We were in our
So
20s.
54 to
Was
a 20-year-old.
was old. Yeah, it was very old. Now it doesn't feel that old. Being 40, it does not feel that old at all. It's like, that's a young person. What are you talking about?
Whippersnapper.
Yep, whippersnapper.
Oh, this is a good one.
Okay.
When you get stuck writing a scene, what has worked the best for finishing it and getting out of writer's block?
Oh God, I have been stuck many a time because it took me a very long time to write the book. I'm actually, the second one seems to be easier for me because I'm getting more used to it. But there were so many scenes that I got stuck with. I was stuck on like chapter 6 for the longest time, on a scene where I just didn't feel like doing it. As weird as that sounds, I'm like, I just don't feel like writing this scene. I didn't want to do it because it was specifically one of the characters like getting hurt happens in, I'm pretty sure it's chapter 6. Someone like gets hurt or something. I'm like, I don't know that I feel like going on with that right now, and I just kind of put it aside. And then later on in the book, there's other scenes where I got to the scene in the chapter and I'm like, it's too intense for me to write it right now, and I'd have to walk away and come back later. So yeah, it happened quite a few times where I got to a scene and I'm like, ooh, do I really want to write this right now? Am I in the mindset to do it?
Okay.
Yeah.
I don't understand that.
So you jump around whenever you write, or do you write in sequence?
I typically write in sequence, but occasionally if I come up with something that I really have to write down, I will, and I'll just splice it in there later. Like I'll put it on a separate note, and then just like cut and paste it in where it belongs. I've done that a few times, and but yeah, that happens sometimes. I'll come up with something, and usually again it's just like a small scene, or like a line that I want a character to say, and I'm like, I don't know where I'm gonna put it, but it's gonna go somewhere. Typically Elena or Amy or Ivy, yeah.
Do you ever struggle against your own moral code when writing out plot points for the characters?
Oh, for plot points, not really. I tend to try to, be fair to the characters for the most part. Occasionally, I can be a little unfair. I admit that, but it's for driving the story purposes and getting the characters to open up and bloom and become more of what they should be or what they're going to be later. But I haven't really struggled a lot with coming up with the stories or the story arcs. I haven't struggled with, who to give them to, because typically after the first game or so, I can figure out what the character's like, and I'm like, I can test the player and see what they can handle, and then I will only give them a story arc like that or something if I think that they can handle it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Tragic love stories for you?
I love a tragic love story. Those are my favorite.
Do not.
I know. I love them. It's. I don't know what it is. I just love them.
Is there ever a moment someone surprises themselves with their own power?
In the book, yes, that happens. The character of Elena, it happens. she at one point, try not to spoil anything, but at one point in the book, she develops a new power that she doesn't expect at all, and it just kind of happens. It saves her life, and then she is genuinely shocked by it, and so is everyone else around her. But they're in the middle of a battle, so they're like, forget it for now, keep moving. And so she's just like, what do I do with this new power? And she has no idea how to control it or what caused it to happen. Aww. So it's just pure chaos for her. And everyone else is like, ignore it for now.
Internalized and externalized screaming.
Yeah, pretty much, yeah. So yeah, that has happened before. In the first book it happens with Elena. And I just, it was one of those moments in the game where I'm just like, I'm just going to throw that in there. And just, not to mess with her, but I'm like, just to see if she can handle this. And she handled it beautifully. Yeah.
That awkward silence in between questions.
Right?
No, it's fine. It's fine.
It's like bleeding.
We will wait a second.
What made you come up with the game, and how long did it take you to flesh it out?
What made me come up with it?
That's a really good question.
That is a really good question. These are really good ones today. You guys are on it, whoever sent all these in. But what made me come up with the game is, again, I always growing up was just obsessed with magic and witchcraft. And we used to play Vampire the Masquerade in high school. It was our anti-drug was, role-playing on Fridays and Saturdays to keep us out of trouble. Not that we were troublemakers at all. None of us were. We were all nerds.
Really?
Yeah, I know,
None
right?
of you guys troublemakers. I have met your friends.
We weren't then. We were actually somewhat calm back then compared to what we ended up being later.
Now there's like black gloves and...
Yeah, there's
It
some...
looks like a goth convention when
It's,
they're all gathered together.
it's true, it does. But what inspired me coming up with the game was we played Vampire the Masquerade, and I loved it because I loved the storytelling, and I loved, the kind of dark themes that game has. But I thought it's a little too dark sometimes, and I'm like, I want something more light. I want something kind of more fun, and I'm like, how can I incorporate the things that I already love, magic and stuff like that, into a game? And so I decided to sit down and start working on it, and this was back in 2003 is when I first started working on it, and it didn't get finished until the end of 2004, so it took me like a whole year basically to work on the game to get it ready to be played.
And it's a great game, so it was worth it.
Oh, thank you. It's taken many years to develop and add more to it, and I've completed like several different creatures now, because originally it was just witches, and then the Darklings came in later, and then I was like, well, we need something more than witches and demons, so then Guardians, the angels, came in, and I'm like, well, that's fun. I was like, what happens if we bring in hunters? And then what happens if we bring in fairies? And yeah, and it just kind of moved on from there. And what was the rest of the question? Do you remember?
Oh, how long it took you to iron it out?
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
I don't think I'm going to be able to find it in that
That's
book.
fine.
So you pretty well answered
Yeah, I
it
think
in about a year.
Yeah, it took about a year to create the original game. And then it's taken me many years to refine it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
You
Well,
can grab.
evidently that one does not want to come
That one does not want to come out of the bowl.
How do you inject the mood of a scene into your writing?
Oh, that's interesting question. I usually, when I'm writing, a lot of times I'm listening to music, and sometimes it actually affects how I'm writing a scene, or I will purposely pick a style of music to listen to get into the mood for it, and that really helps. And just getting in the mind space of this is what I want it to be like. There are several romantic moments in the book, but it's not a romance by any means. But there are some romantic moments, and there are some moments that are very sad, and there are battle scenes that you have to have the right music for that, which for me is usually like upbeat, crazy. Doesn't necessarily have words. It's just just chaos, and that helps me. So yeah,
Mongolian metal.
No, I listen to the weirdest music when I'm writing. The weirdest music.
To be fair, like any scene that has a Nichelle character in it, you need K-pop blaring at
At full volume, yeah. Yeah, no kidding, that definitely helps.
I have no idea what this is saying, but it goes perfectly.
It goes perfectly
with
with
the
it. Yeah.
It's just
It is perfect for all of her characters. It really is.
yeah, like
Yeah.
literally it transcends.
It does.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, you can't grab it either.
Yeah, it doesn't want to come out of there.
Oh, surprising. But yeah.
You can get in the thick one.
I know.
It's like popcorn.
Yeah, I love popcorn.
It's like popcorn.
Ooh, I like popcorn. I want popcorn now. Have you ever had parts of the story that unfolded so clearly that you and okay, I'm sorry, let me start over.
Okay.
Have you ever had parts of the story that unfolded so clearly to you that you surprised yourself with ease and flow of it?
Yes, actually, that's happened a few times. I've had a few chapters in the book that were really easy to write, and I was surprised that they were easy, and I was able to just do it on an entire chapter in like one night. And I don't usually do that. It's usually like a little here, a little there, whenever I have the time or I have the mental capacity to write. But yeah, there's been several scenes in the first book that I just felt they were just so easy to write. And I don't want to spoil anything, so I don't want to tell you what they are. But yeah, there were some that were so easy to write. In fact, I wrote an entire chapter and then forgot that I did.
Oh wow.
Yeah, completely forgot that I did until the next day, and I popped up the document to write, and I was like, where'd this come from? And I'm scrolling through, and I was like, apparently that was easy for me to write, and well, sleep deprived, because I wrote an entire chapter. Yep.
This one. Ah!
Ah, you got two?
And that one.
And that one, and all of them.
It's like, no.
Rapid fire.
No, just one.
No, you wouldn't be able to handle
No, I would not. No, that's true.
Okay, this is a multi-parter too.
Okay.
What is your favorite character arc in this book and why?
Favorite character arc? I think that goes to Elena. She has probably one of the best character arcs in the entire book, which she goes through so much in such a short amount of time for a character who's so new to her powers, and she doesn't know what's going on half the time, but she's just there and trying to be with these people that she's formed a bond with. And she has probably, in my mind, one of the best character arcs in the first book.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, now here's the second part.
Okay.
Does that character shift their thinking throughout the book? And how does that affect the storyline?
I think she kind of starts to shift a little bit of her thinking. Like, she starts to actually mature throughout the book, and she starts off very, very immature, because she's 15 when the book begins. So she's very young. And I think she kind of matures quickly throughout the book. Considering the book only takes place within less than a year of time, so it's just like a few months that they're together, and so I think she matures the most out of all the characters, and she has the most development in the first book. So yeah, it affects the story because the story kind of follows everyone. There's no particular main character, but if I were to say there's a main character, I would definitely point towards Elena.
Okay.
Yeah.
See, time in the book and in the game is just wild to me sometimes,
Mhm.
because it's like so many things happened and it was a day.
Yeah, it was a day. Exactly. 3 games worth of things. 1 hour has gone by.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. It happens that way.
I can imagine the characters and I'm like, ah.
Like, oh my god,
That's-
I'm gonna
that's
keep
trauma.
running.
The trauma that I've gone through in the last 24 hours.
1,000 yard stare and it's been 4 hours.
Yep. Yep, that happens.
Ooh. Is there any real witchcraft in the book?
Any real witchcraft? There is little hints of it, because again, I'm a very witchy person, and I've always been obsessed with witchcraft and magic and stuff. So there's just little hints here and there of real magic, but not, like there's none of the spells would work in real life, obviously. But there's just like little hints here and there of just the way they do things, especially earlier on in the book, the way that they do things and the way that they react, and certain herbs that are mentioned and stuff like that is very real, and I tried to keep it kind of rooted in that.
Okay.
You've evaded me for long enough.
Yes.
Oh, it's small too. Favorite scene?
Favorite scene? Oh my gosh, there's so many that I love from the first book. I'm gonna have to answer with more than one. I love the wedding scene that happens later on in the book. And everything after that, like that concludes that whole little story that happens, a little side story of the wedding, which I'm not going to tell you who it is because again, spoiler alert. But I love that scene.
Happened.
It just happens. You'll have to read and find out who it is. But I love that scene and kind of scenes around that. The next chapter or so. That's just it was fun to write, and it was again pure chaos, and it's just me rocking out to just crazy music and writing it out. and I love that. And there's a scene with there's several scenes with Ivy that I love because the dark side of Ivy, that whole chapter is just it's a wonderful chapter, and you get to see her backstory a lot, and get to see her reaction to certain things that had happened in her life and how she got through it. And I love that entire chapter. It's a good one, in my opinion anyway. It's one of my favorites to write. Yeah.
Ooh, does the book contain any romance?
A little splash of romance. A little splash. Because you really can't tell a story without a little bit of romance, let's be honest. All stories have a little bit of it in there. And it is multiple characters have romantic subplots, in a way. And there's two characters that are established couple, but I don't really reveal that until the end of the book that they're a couple. It's just kind of hinted towards that they are. And that's a surprise when you get to the end. You're like, oh, and then you're like, oh, that makes sense that they're a couple. And then there's a little bit of a love triangle that goes on throughout the book.
Because you like a little messy.
I like it a little messy. I really do. It's fun to me. And it was not, the love triangle was not planned in the game. It just kind of naturally happened. So I'm like, it's going in the book because it's fun. It's a little messy. It's yeah.
This is happening.
Yeah, I'm like, this is happening. And
This is a thing.
this is a thing that definitely happened. And I kind of kept it and put it a little bit more into it in the book than what actually occurred in the game.
Okay.
You okay?
I guess my brain needed oxygen.
Apparently, I'm gonna take a drink real quick.
Okay, this is a lead-in for my last one, actually. Absolute least favorite would have put it if you could have.
Oh, least favorite like scene or
Yeah.
least favorite like moment?
Both. Let's go with both.
Both. Oh, least favorite. There was a. I'm trying. Oh gosh, there were a couple of points in the book where I'm just like, do I really want to put it in there? Do I really want to do that? And it's mostly it was just like certain lines that I didn't necessarily like them, and I'm like, yeah, I could have probably written them better, or they probably didn't even belong there. But a lot of scenes with like showing just how bad the Darkling King is, it's like, do I want to actually go that far with him? Because you've read the book, he's pretty dastardly, we'll say. And there were certain scenes with him that I'm like, do I really want to take it that far? And I'm not gonna say that I regret it, but it's just like, did I take it too far with this?
I can kind of understand that though, because like when you create a villain, you kind of want to make them hated.
Yeah, you want, and
Yeah.
he's definitely hated. Like I should hope so. I hope nobody loves him. He didn't have anyone that loved him in the game or book. Why would he have someone love him now?
Since I know this doesn't continue on in any other questions, is there one that ended up on the cutting room floor that nobody gets to read?
Oh yeah, there's several. There was a scene for Gwen's birthday that I wrote, and it was because her birthday is in December, so I wrote it, and it would have been at the end of the book, because we go into like November, December time at the end of the book because it's snowing by the end of it. And I wrote a scene for Gwen's birthday, and it didn't make it into the book. It didn't feel right putting it in once I wrote it, and I was like, maybe the second book will be in there, maybe it won't. But yeah, that was one scene in particular. There's a couple that didn't, but that's one scene in particular that I can recall right now that I'm like, no, we're just gonna have to snip it out there because it's not flowing well with the rest of it.
We're just
We
gonna
don't want to
snip that in the bud.
Yeah, we don't have 650 pages exactly.
All right. Ooh, I like this one because I kind of want to know too.
Okay.
Do you have any other worlds that you have created?
Yeah, actually, yes. When growing up, I used to play like, those imaginary games that you do with your friends, where you imagine your different people and stuff. And Opie was one of them, and then a now no longer friend, Jeremy, was the other one. And it was just the three of us on the bus would always play, and we played these characters that we created, and a whole family of characters that we created, and we'd each play like a certain amount of them. And we had like, and again, it had to do with witchcraft because I'm obsessed with it. So they were all magical in some way. And yeah, so I created an entire world for them and stories for them, and that's what I used to write in school when I've mentioned that I would get in trouble for writing. That's what I used to write about, was that family and those characters.
I can imagine you as a child, just what if?
What if we had superpowers and we could lift a brick with our mind? Yeah.
Wouldn't that be so cool?
Yeah, wouldn't that be so cool? Yeah, no, 100% was me. Yeah, how would that work? Yeah, that was me. 100%.
Nice.
Yeah. We're coming down to the last few.
Oh yeah, I'm gonna say this is the number 3 to the end.
Oh no.
We've got 2 more after this. Is there anything you think a new reader should understand about your world before they dive into the book?
I think mostly because my book is a very unusual book. I understand that. Like I didn't know what I was doing when I wrote this thing. I still don't know what I'm doing, to be honest. But when writing it, it's in present tense, which is very unusual for a book. Usually it's past tense. But I wanted it to be present tense on purpose because one, I write easier that way, and 2, I felt like it was more immersive for people to read and be like, it's happening now, and therefore your brain is thinking, oh, it's right now. You know, I'm here. I'm seeing it right now as it's unfolding. And it was, again, yeah, it was based off of a game that I created. So if you're familiar with role playing games, the book will probably read a lot easier than if you're not.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Snatch.
Snatch that.
Where does the magic come from, and what is it?
Where does magic come from? It was, okay, it's kind of a thing that's a natural occurring thing in the world. Magic just kind of exists in the ether. It's what keeps everything going. Everything that's living creates some form of magic that comes off of them. And it just kind of gets siphoned. Is that siphoned? There we go, thank you. I can't say words all of a sudden. It gets siphoned through, usually, like I said, the council, and into witches that then cycle it back out. Every time they use it, it goes back out into the world. And then it gets recycled. So it's never like out and it dies. It's constantly living like the world is living.
Okay, that makes sense, because the next question is, where did the energy come from?
Yeah.
And you kind of just answered that.
Yeah, I did. So that's good. Oh, our last question.
Last question.
Oh, now the last one. I hope it's a good one.
Oh, this is actually one from me.
Okay.
How do you feel about happy endings?
How do I
Pure
feel?
irony.
Pure irony. Oh.
Pure irony.
Oh, how do I feel about happy? I actually love a good happy ending. I do.
Didn't you tell me once?
Yeah. I love a good tragic ending more than anything. I do. That is where my heart lies, is with a good tragic ending. Like a tragic love story, a tragic, bittersweet ending is where I love it to be. But when it comes down to like the final end of everything, I want it to have something happy to do with it. So you may have to wait 3 books to get a happy ending for most of the characters, but some of them do get a very satisfying happy ending by the end of the 4 books. So that's the good news. I'm not telling you which characters, because not all of them make it to the end. I'm sorry, spoiler alert. Spoilers.
Be prepared for that in the coming books.
Yeah, no kidding.
He hates love.
I do not.
He hates love and he lets people die.
I don't hate love. I love the idea of love in my personal life and in real life. But when it comes to stories, I just feel like having that tragic story, like a tragic love story, reads better. You know, and
It does make for a great story, though.
It does.
Yeah.
It does make for a really good story.
It adds more depth.
Indeed.
If you've had to fight for it, it's more worth it.
Exactly. That's how I feel. So yeah, is there anything else you guys would like to ask? No?
I think those questions covered about everything.
Yeah, we're empty. We're done. Those were some really good questions. Thank you both for this. This was great. I'm glad that we got to do this.
If anybody else has any questions further on, just feel free to leave them on the comment section underneath. We're always happy to do another one of these.
Oh yeah, because this is fun getting together. I love this.
Yeah.
This is great. It's just friends talking at this point.
Really?
I just happen to be answering a bunch of questions.
I'm going to scoop.
Okay. Yeah.
Scoop.
Like I told you, it was going to be like 15 or more.
Yeah.
They
Yeah,
were really
we're
good
good.
questions, too.
Yeah, they were. They were really, really good.
Well, I think that's it for our long Q&A this time. Hopefully you were actually able to hear us.
Yeah. Let's hope we got all the way to the end and you could hear us.
It was a goal.
It was a goal.
It
It was
was a
very much a
goal.
goal.
We might want to put like some subtitles on there somewhat. Somewhat, you know, kind of explain what's going on.
It might be a
Oh.
good idea.
Yes. Here's my book. She is a thick one.
She
Yeah, she's thick. She's a lot to read, but I think she's worth
a
it.
girl.
She's a thick girl. And I'm proud of her. I'm very proud of her and the fact that she actually exists out in the world now. So that's just, it's insane to me. But yeah, there's so much that goes on here. So many characters that are fun, and so many different stories, and just one overarching story throughout the whole thing. So if you read just like maybe a chapter 2, you won't get all the characters at all. You have to read for quite a while to get every character that is introduced, and they all have their own individual personalities, their own way of doing things, their own way of speaking. It's you're gonna find at least one that you love.
I really hope the actual game, like you can get the actual game out because it's
That's
really fun.
It
Like,
is super fun.
that is very, very much planned. That is something that I want to do in the next couple of years while working on book 2, is try and work on the roleplay game and make it available for other people to play, because everyone who's played it has enjoyed it, and that's, a good thing. Yeah, we have a visitor. Hello. Tiny fluffy visitor.
Ooh, tiny wet fluffy visitor.
But yeah, that is very much a goal, is to try and get that out so that people can actually play the game and enjoy it and be part of the world that I created, which I think would be great to have so many people be part of it.
Because honestly, there's nothing more fun than a story you can actually immerse yourself in personally.
Yeah.
Really.
Yeah.
100% I agree with that. But yeah, I'm hoping to get it out in the next couple of years and at least finish it. We'll see how long it takes me, because it took me a long time to write this thing. I mean, a long time. But yeah, I'm hoping that we can get that taken care of, and I have friends that are willing to help me with it, which is great, because there's certain tweaks that we have to do to make it easier for new players to play and stuff like that.
Okay.
So yet again, the Avalon Witch Chronicles, welcome to Avalon Book 1, is out now. Book 2 will hopefully be out within the next year, and you heard straight from here, the game should be out soon, and maybe you too could be a character in our witchy little world.
Oh yeah, I am all about new characters, because I love seeing people get to that side of them and play and have fun. Like that's the best part of it, is people having fun.
Alright, I hope everybody enjoyed it, and have a great day, and have a magical night.
Bye, everybody.
Bye.